Welcome to Pickleball Journey. I'm Justin.
And I'm Elisha.
And today we are talking about the volleys.
Hey guys, welcome. We're going to be doing some offensive volley, little tips here. We got Justin over here as my assistant. The first thing we're going is some mid-tier offensive volleys. It's between the shoulders and the waist, okay? It depends on how I'm gonna hit those based on where my opponent's at. So if Justin's coming in and he's about mid-tier right there and I get a ball between my shoulders and my waist, what I'm gonna do is what I call the ping-pong volley. So you're gonna contact and you're gonna roll over to be able to get it at his feet. We don't wanna be too aggressive so that he's hitting it out of the air. That way he can hit a clean ball and get in sooner. We want him hitting at his feet so we can get a pop-up and get an even more aggressive ball above our shoulders. So an example is here. So I'm just keeping him back, just rolling it, trying to get it deep as I can, back at his feet. If he tries to come in, so he's gonna come in, I'm gonna try to keep rolling it at his feet until I get it. And as he comes in, if I get an even higher one, I can be more aggressive. But my goal is, as long as he's not at the kitchen line, I want to be rolling it at his feet. Getting as deep as I can. Those are a little bit lower. Those are a little bit lower. Here we go. I'm going to roll it. Feet again, roll at his feet again, and then be aggressive, right? So try to get his feet until I get a higher ball above my shoulders. So a couple more times here. You're coming in, block that one. It's a little bit harder. Rolling it, high one, and then go after it, right? So the minute he starts coming in, I get a high one, then I'm even more aggressive if it's above my shoulder. So I'm working for the high ball above my shoulder. If I get one above my shoulder, I'm going flat, straight through it, either at an angle away from him or the side or at his feet in any situation. Here we go. Roll at his feet, roll at his feet. Roll at his feet again. Here we go. Give me a little bit. So keep his feet. Gives me a higher one. Try to be a little bit more aggressive. Just aiming right at those shins. Right at the shins. Keep it going right at the shins. Here we go. A couple more. If you do somehow get a low one, you just want to block, or if he's hitting hard, you do want to just block it. We'll talk about that later in the defensive position. But right now I'm just getting a little bit higher ones. That one I should have been a little more defensive on. So I'm blocking that one. If ever you're uncomfortable with the ball, even if you're in an offensive position, just block it back. It's not worth trying to go for it and then missing it, okay? So you want to be confident in your shots, so make sure you're not going for it if you're not comfortable making that shot. Slow enough, so I'm going to throw it down back at his feet. If I try to be aggressive like I just did and he gets one at the shoulders, then he can get it down at my feet. So it's not worth being aggressive if I pop it up to him. I want to keep it low until I can be aggressive even more at his feet. So I'm going to block that one. I'm going to roll that one. Roll. Aggressive. So perfect example there, trying to be aggressive. So he's coming in. I'm going to try to roll this one. Roll. Oh, it's too high. Block. Block. Now I'm being aggressive. Okay. So you're blocking if he's being aggressive until you get that opportunity where you on offense and then you go for it. Okay.
All right, so now we're going to focus on some defensive tips. So the first one is having a good, solid foundation, but making sure you get low. So when you're attacking, typically you're standing up a little bit more, but when we're on defense, we really want to be getting low for the ball. The second one is keep it stupid simple. So a lot of our shots, We want to be very simple, compact. We don't want to be hitting hard, but we want it to be very compact and simple out in front. The third tip that we want to do is we want to kind of use a surprise element to our defense. So we want to sometimes, if it is low, we want to surprise attack and hit an offensive shot at the body. So we'll jump right into some of these, and I'll kind of talk through them. Notice how on most of these backhands especially, just right here, very compact, there's not a big swing to it. Yeah. Very compact. It's just too good. He's got the net down. Very compact. There's not a lot of swing when these balls are coming really fast, because you just can't. You don't have the time for it. There you go. Good. Now Elisha's gonna hit some balls at my feet. This is still a defensive shot. Even though he's hitting it soft, it's still considered defensive because it's putting me in a low spot, unattackable. So he's gonna hit some drops here. There you go. I really got to get low for these. Notice, real low, trying to get these out of the air if possible. There you go, that's attackable. There's the low ball. Ah, really bad. There you go. Another one here. Notice that those legs really getting into a good squat there and reaching out. Ah, too good, too good. Still getting back down low. All right, now we're gonna do some here. It'll be less of a surprise for Elisha because I'm telling him it's a surprise attack, but he's gonna be moving in and a low ball. I'm gonna eventually surprise attack him. I'm gonna surprise attack on a low ball. See, there's a good example. It's not really a great shot. If I do that often, they're gonna be expecting that. But if I throw that in every once in a while, I'll catch him in the body and surprise him. Here we go, one more of those. There, it's kind of he's expecting a softer ball, but surprise attacking with that hard ball. So here we're gonna have Elisha come up to the net. We're gonna hit some dinks. And again, these are gonna be defensive shots 90% of the time, maybe even 95% of the time. But once in a while, we're gonna do a surprise attack from below the net. Typically when we do this, we wanna attack at the dominant shoulder. So for me, for most righties, that's that right shoulder. Elisha's a lefty, so I wanna go to that left side of him. And so we'll do some of these. I'm gonna surprise attack. So if you're playing an opponent that misses their dinks, you want to just keep dinking. Work their weakness always. If they're not missing a dink and maybe you've lost several points, mix it up. It's important to mix it up. And again, this is something maybe to do 5% or less of the time, but attacking a short ball at that dominant shoulder. So that was a little lower than I wanted to attack that. More at his stomach. I want to get that kind of right shoulder. It's tough to return it. There you go. Good way to just mix it up and then reset the point. There you go. Yep, so that's an example of really not an attackable ball usually, but once in a great while, it's good to throw your opponent off because they're so used to just hitting the ball. And so if you haven't hit it much, they're just naturally inclined to take that and hit it, even if it is going out.